Hello, this is Point of View, and I am your host, Shirley Polk. It is the 22nd of April 2015, and I finally got this on the air. So I have been doing something different and connecting with a different device. So I am just so thankful that I've got it up. Now we are continuing what we've been talking about, and that's helping uh, people who have been grieving. And I hope that I still have that up here. I get that, and then something else comes up, and it should be on here. So let me see if it's on here. Um, I was talking about the grieving, and I don't want to use my phone. I just want to be able to go to that page, which I did have just a few minutes ago. Let me see. And tell me this page has disappeared. So let me go and find that. But I didn't want to use my phone, but I just might have to use my phone today, okay? But we're in the second part of helping someone with grief. And I really don't want to do that. So I am going to do this. I'm going to type it in. It is help guide. Go back. Help guide. And I don't want to lose my connection either. So I'm trying to get used to this new device here. And so it's just messing with me. Okay. But I'm trying. Okay. So let me just go and find that page. And I should be able to find my history on here. I don't understand why it disappeared on me. I don't understand that. I did not close it out. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to that and do it. I'm going to go to help. That's where I've been all week. Okay, now helpguide.org, and I'm going to go to helping with grief. Help guide. There's relationships, and there's one that talks about helping with grief. And let me go back there now. See, I had all of that prepared before I came online, and then it just disappeared on me. But I know how these things work, so I don't give up dealing with grief. Let's see. Help guide. Let me get there, and then I'll get into the grief part. Dealing with grief. Let me type that in. Okay, coping. There we go. With grief and loss. And then supporting a grieving person, helping others through grief, loss, and bereavement. And so I'm on section 2 of that. So I might have to edit this, but that's okay too. I'll just edit it. But I am going to do it because I am determined to finish this. I am so determined. Okay, here we go. Now I want to magnify this, take it up a notch. Okay, 75. So please excuse me. I just do this. I just do it, and so I want you to understand that when I'm determined, I'm determined, and I will get it done by the grace of God. So now we're going to the second tip. Helping a grieving person, tip 2. Offer practical assistance. we have to really, really be careful. This is such a good topic, and I am so thankful to God because He has guided me in this direction, and I am going to go all the way with this as far as He tells me to go with it because we do need help. We need serious help. There are people now who don't know how to handle grief, never have really known how to handle it, and then they displace this, and then it turns into all kinds of different emotions and things, and they take it out on certain people and all of that just because they really don't understand the what's happening. And there is a process of grieving, but then that process, those steps of grieving are not in order, so everybody grieves in a different manner. Even though we grieve in a different way. Now, helping a grieving person, tip two, offer practical assistance. It is difficult for many grieving people to ask for help. They might feel guilty about receiving so much attention, fear being a burden, or be too depressed to reach out. You can make it easier for them by making specific suggestions such as, I'm going to the market this afternoon. What can I bring you from there? Or, I've made beef stew for dinner. When can I come by and bring you some? Consistency is very helpful. If you can manage it, being there for as long as it takes. Consistency is very helpful. If you can manage it, being there for as long as it takes. Okay? Now, this helps the grieving person look forward to your attentiveness without having to make the additional effort of asking again and again. You can also convey an open invitation by saying, let me know what I can do, which may make a grieving person feel more comfortable about asking for help. But keep in mind that the bereaved may not have the energy or motivation to call you when he or she needs something. So it's better if you take the initiative to check in. That is so important. Let me get over here and get my little pointer here. Be the one who takes, let me do this right. I'm going to have to kind of be the one who takes the initiative. There are many practical ways you can help a grieving person. You can offer to shop for groceries or run errands, drop off a casserole or other type of food, help with funeral arrangements, stay in his or her home to take phone calls and receive guests, help with insurance forms and bills, uh, or bills, take care of housework such as cleaning or laundry, watch his or her children or pick them up from school, drive him or her where he or she needs to go. Let me get back over here and get this so I can scroll it. Look after his or her pets, go with them to a support group meeting, accompany them on a walk, take them to lunch or a movie, share an enjoyable activity, game, puzzle, art project. But you might ask the question, if they shut you out, what can you do? How can you help a person who shuts you out? Now, I'd like to know that myself, okay? And it seems like the person is blaming you for what happened when you had nothing to do with it at all. There was no way possible that you could have. Helping a grieving person, tip three, provide ongoing support. This is very important. Grieving continues long after the funeral is over and the cards and flowers have stopped. The length of the grieving process varies from person to person, but in general, grief lasts much longer than most people expect. Your bereaved friend or family member may need your support for months or even years. That is so, so true. Months or even years. My sisters came and stayed with me. They came, I think, the next day they got here. They might have gotten here maybe the later that same day that Elder Davis transitioned, and they stayed with me and helped me and just went through the process. They did everything for me, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. a thing. They stayed here for more than a week to help me out. I didn't have to worry about a thing or do anything. And my daughter was there, and so she and my dear friend Glenda Williams Goodson, they worked on the program, and they would bring it to me, check in with me, and then they made sure that the program was made out, that it was and it was beautifully put together, and the printer was Josh's mother. I cannot think of her name now. She's made her transition too, but she's a very, very, very gifted lady who did professional programs and gifts and all that for people. And I believe she even had Oprah Winfrey as one of her clients. So she did Elder Davis's program. She did my brother Danny's program. So people stepped in and it helped me so much. And I truly love them even more and dearly appreciate them for that. It has been since 2007, but it still means so much to me, and it always will. Excuse me, I feel like there was a little uh I saw a mosquito flying around in here. So you know how it is when you see something flying around, you can't get to it, and then you get a little, anxious, you want to get it. Okay, now continue your support over long haul. Stay in touch with the grieving person, periodically check in, dropping by or sending letters or cards. Your support is more valuable than ever once the funeral is over, the other mourners are gone, and the initial shock of the loss has worn off. Don't make assumptions based on outward appearances. The bereaved person may look fine on the outside while inside he or she is suffering. Avoid saying things like, "You are so strong," or "You look so well." And those are things that people say. Those are things that people say. And really they don't mean any harm. It's just the way people are. And so it's telling us to avoid saying these things like, "You are so strong, you look so well," because even though a person looks good on the outside, you don't know how torn up on the inside they still might be. Okay, the pain of bereavement may never fully heal. The pain of bereavement may never fully heal. Be sensitive to the fact that life may never feel the same. You don't get over, and there's this quote unquote, the death of a loved one. You don't get over the death of a loved one. The bereaved person may learn to accept the loss. The pain may lessen in intensity over time, but the sadness may never completely go away. Offer extra support on special days. Certain times and days of the year will be particularly hard for your grieving friend or family member. Holidays, family milestones, birthdays, and anniversaries often reawaken grief. Be sensitive on these occasions. Let the bereaved person know what you're there for. Know that you're there for whatever he or she needs. Helping a grieving person, tip 4. Watch for warning signs. Watch for warning signs. Let me take that down just a little bit. That's better if I just use my arrows. It's common for a grieving person to feel depressed, confused, disconnected from others, or like he or she is going crazy. But if the bereaved person's symptoms don't gradually start to fade or they get worse with time, this may be a sign that normal grief has evolved into a more serious problem, such as clinical depression. And we talked about this yesterday. Uh, Encourage the grieving person to seek professional help if you observe any of the following warning signs after the initial grieving period, especially if it's been over 2 months since the death. Here are some signs: difficulty functioning in daily life, extreme focus on the death, excessive bitterness, anger, or guilt, neglecting personal hygiene, alcohol or drug abuse, inability to enjoy life, hallucinations, withdrawing from others, constant feelings of hopelessness, and talking about dying or suicide. Now, we didn't list all these yesterday, but it's in the same area that we've been talking about because this is very important. So these are signs of clinical depression, and I know somebody who is going through this right now, and it really, really bothers me that the person won't seek help. Okay, but what can you do when somebody doesn't know, they won't let you help them? Prayer. That's what we do, okay? It can be tricky to bring up your concerns to the bereaved person as you don't want to be perceived as invasive. Instead of telling the person what to do, try starting your own feelings, okay? Or stating your own feelings. Like, I am troubled by the fact that you aren't sleeping. Perhaps you should look into getting help. Take talk of suicide very seriously. This is very important. Take talk of suicide very seriously. If a grieving friend or family member talks about suicide, get professional help right away. In a life-threatening emergency, call 911 or your country's emergency service number. Then, to learn more about this, you can go to the suicide prevention page. Next, supporting a child through grief and bereavement. Oh my goodness. Even very young children feel the pain of bereavement, but they learn how to express his or her grief by watching the adults around them. After a loss, particularly of a sibling or parent, children need support, stability, and honesty. They may also need extra reassurance that they will be cared for and kept safe. As an adult, as an adult, you can support children through the grieving process by demonstrating that it's okay to be sad and helping them make sense of the loss. Answer any questions a child may have as truthfully as you can. Use every um, simple or use very simple, honest, and concrete terms when explaining death to a child. Use very simple, honest, and concrete terms when explaining death to a child. Children, especially young children, may blame themselves for what happened, and the truth helps them see they are not at fault. Okay? Open communication will smooth the way for a child to express distressing feelings because children often express themselves through stories, games, and artwork. Encourage this self expression and look for clues in those activities about how they are coping. Now, how to help a grieving child. Allow your child, however young, to attend the funeral if he or she wants to. Convey your spiritual needs about life and death, or pray with your child. Meet regularly as a family to find out how everyone is coping. Help children find ways to symbolize and memorialize the deceased person. Keep your child's daily routine as normal as possible. Pay attention to the way a child plays. This can be one of a child's primary ways of communicating. And I remember, right, daddy died, and then 11 months later, mama died. And so we, as their children, we would meet at the house. We did that for a couple of years, like on the holidays, 4th of July, and celebrate. And that's how we kept up with each other. And we still keep up with each other. As a matter of fact, our the Polk siblings' children or they year before last they did a sibling get together for all of us, and so now it's time for another one, and I am so excited about it because it's coming up. So we stay as a family, we stay together, and we support each other, and I am so thankful that we have that relationship. Now, what not to do. This is dealing with children who are grieving. What not to do. Don't force a child to publicly mourn if he or she doesn't want to. Don't give false or confusing messages like grandma is sleeping. Don't tell a child to stop crying because others might get upset. Don't try to shield a child from the loss. Children pick up on much more than adults realize. Including them in the grieving process will help them adapt and heal. Don't stifle your tears. By crying in front of your child, you send the message that it's okay for him or her to express feelings too. Don't turn your child into your personal confidant. Rely on another adult or a support group instead. Okay, now we are, that's the third part of coping with loss in a relationship or in coping with grief. So this has really been a good thing, and I am so happy that I got through it. I've had a wonderful time dealing with these 3 days, because this is Wednesday. And so I want to thank you for tuning in. I love you so much. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to sign off here from Point of View with Shirley Polk, and I will be signing on in 5 minutes on the Greater Gospel Temple and Inspiration of God Ministries website. God bless you over and over again. All right, let me get down here.